Both in looks and attitudes, these 9 The Gilded Age actors are very different from who they are in real life, and you will be mind blown to see what sets them apart from their characters. Christine Baranski plays Agnes Van Ryn in the show, and her character is a very tough one to deal with. However, despite being so uptight in the show, Christine is a very free individual who is much more beautiful with distinct makeup looks. The 70-year-old actress also dresses confidently and loves to pose, but she revealed she didn't like her sharp-looking facial features while growing up, which has now changed as she has a lovely face, even though she was looking very fierce in the series. In terms of looks, Christine is always looking happy, unlike Agnes. She's also very stylish and trendy, and she's accommodating of new styles and people, which Agnes finds hard to do. So while Agnes at least enjoys the company of the New York elite in the Gilded Age, Christine likes to keep herself away from any social circle that doesn't have to do with her work in real life. As fans noticed, Agnes has a firm and refined voice, and that's because the actress herself had to work on her voice, as she used to have a hard time pronouncing the letter S. Also, Agnes is such an intense character in the show that she scares almost everyone. This act that Christine played on set was so believable that Louisa Jacobson, who portrays Marion, was afraid of her. Louisa even reported this to her mother, Meryl Streep, who informed Christine. And Christine found a way to convince Louisa that she's not like that in real life, saying, I would say, Louisa, that's my character. Me, Christine, I support you and I adore you. This is who I have to be on camera, but please don't be frightened. Please don't think that's me. Unlike the other seasoned actresses in The Gilded Age, Louisa Jacobson is just coming up, and her first screen experience is the show. So she's entirely different from the role she had to play. Louisa is just as stylish as her character in the series, but she enjoys timeless fashion best, and her looks and clothes are always styled specially. But her character's style is actually from the period era, and she isn't a fan of the corsets because they hurt her ribs till she couldn't sleep on set and had to ask for adjustments. The actress also has a very bold style and looks in real life compared to the mild makeup her character wears in the series. Despite this being her first time acting, Louisa portrayed Marion as a very confident lady, and she wasn't always scared to give Agnes a piece of her mind whenever possible. But the crazy thing is that the actress Louisa admitted that she wasn't as confident as her character at the beginning of the set and was always terrified, but she finally got used to it. In the show, Marion constantly finds ways to be helpful despite Agnes's refusal to let her do anything, but in real life, Louisa ran away from her passion, acting, for a long time. She tried distracting herself with other activities and jobs before finally going for acting, which she has always been driven to do. Ada is one of the kindest characters in The Gilded Age, but she's been very unlucky with marriage, and when she began to find that happiness, life did its thing and made it sad again. However, unlike Ada, the actress Cynthia Nixon is in a fulfilled marriage with her wife, Christine Marinoni. And the fun thing about the actress is that she's not as gentle as Ada in real life, even though she's compassionate. Also, she has a different hair from her character, but she's kept the same loving smile and positive attitude to life and changes. Cynthia also wears sharp makeup, which is very different from Ada's no makeup face in the show. In 2002, the actress was arrested in a civil disobedience fight when she was an education activist, in which Ada would never find herself. She's also a very well-established politician who contested to be a governor in New York in 2018. So Cynthia is far more daring and outspoken than her on-screen character. The aspiring alarm clock inventor and one of the servants to the Van Ryns, Jack Treacher, has a fine and sweet personality on the show. And the young man might be onto greatness as he's been obedient and humble so far. In real life, Ben Allers, who plays the role, still maintains an innocent and calm face in real life. However, unlike his character, he wanted to be a musician and was even shocked to find himself in the acting business. But then Ben has a few similarities to his character, as he has many aspirations and looks up to some of the great stars he worked with on the show. Oscar Van Regen isn't afraid to fail and try even better. The character is a delight to see on screen, even though his intentions aren't always pure. But Blake Ritson, who plays Oscar, is much different from his tricky character. At first, many fans found it hard to understand or like Oscar, but the same can't be said of Blake, a likable person and much more handsome than his character in The Gilded Age. Bertha Russell is a very daring and brave character who's not afraid to go for anyone or anything. This character has shown many fans that all dreams are possible, while Mrs. Russell understood what she wanted and was willing to go after it at all costs. Carrie Coon, who portrays the role, is very much different in real life. In looks, she's different from Mrs. Russell, as she has short blonde hair instead, and her everyday makeup is also different from the one her her character wears in the series. But then both Carrie and Mrs. Russell has great taste in fashion. She was also heavily pregnant while filming for the series, and fans couldn't notice this under her big and heavy dresses. Unlike Mrs. Russell, Carrie didn't know she would become an actress someday. She was never prepared for it. Also, she didn't fight to find a place for herself in Hollywood like her character did to be accepted in the New York society. Instead, Carrie mistakenly found herself in the acting profession, which is something that could never happen to the always prepared Mrs. Russell. Carrie was only interested in soccer, but opportunities in acting kept finding her till she passionately turned towards it, and from there, she got her well-deserved success. Despite how perfectly Carrie nailed her role in the show, she wasn't the first choice as another actress. Amanda Peet was the initial cast, and that would have made a big difference considering how well Carrie played the role, as fans can't imagine someone else in it. Many fans can't get over how adoring and handsome George Russell is, but the crazy thing is that Morgan Spector, who plays the role, is much more attractive than the character. Morgan's well-toned body even helped him find a way into Hollywood, as his earlier roles involved taking his shirt off. Also, the actor takes fitness seriously, believing that the body speaks the best language. He also has electrifying tattoos he isn't afraid to flaunt on the internet. But fans couldn't see all of these due to the costumes his character had to wear. Although his character is more reserved and always covered as expected, Morgan is the opposite, as he likes to keep his looks interesting. However, like in the show, Morgan is just as impressive in real life, as he's a proud husband and father who's been married to Rebecca Hall since 2015. But then, Morgan didn't have all his life rosy like George in the show. Morgan tried to give up on acting on many occasions until a college professor encouraged him by getting him a role. And that's different from what George would do, as the character doesn't give up on things. But Morgan has been very proud of his achievements in the film industry. However, Morgan shares the same looks as George with the same beard as his characters. Another fan favorite character who has been inspiring fans all along is Peggy Scott. Even though she's been through a lot, she's beginning to find hope again, although things might not always go well. Peggy kissed her married boss, Mr. Fortune, and that's a forbidden and scandalous act based on the period the series is set in. However, Danae is a much more brave person in real life who isn't afraid to let people know the things that are most important to her, as she once came out as a bisexual. The actress also looks different in real life, styling her hair differently, even though Peggy was only used to one hairstyle. Also, while Peggy is always willing and ready to take on challenging writing jobs in the show, Denny Benton, who plays the role, feels terrible for not taking an opportunity that could have helped her career in the past. So when she was still in college, she lost the chance to be in a production of The Lion King. She couldn't take it because it would have affected her schooling, but she later got another opportunity in the Book of Mormon. The actress whose character couldn't marry the love of her life in the show has a happy family, as she's been married to Carl Lundstedt since 2020. In the show's latest episodes, the sweet and innocent Gladys Russell is a very adorable character to see on screen, but the actress who plays the role, Taissa Farmiga, is different from her character in some ways. Although her mother in the series still treats her like a child and wouldn't let her go out or even get into a relationship, the actress has a very progressive marriage and social life. Taissa got married to Hadley Klein in 2020, and she enjoys the outdoors. Also, she doesn't look as gentle as Gladys, as her makeup looks more mature than the one her character has to wear in the show. What do you think about the difference between these 9 actors and their characters in The Gilded Age? Share your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.